An eargasm of learning and a no-fuss show. Welcome to the Creative Talk Podcast, where you can learn straightforward topics about branding, digital entrepreneurship, online business, and many more with your charming host, John Santos, along with inspiring entrepreneurs, creators, and thought leaders worldwide.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Creative Talk. We have another special guest for this episode. I am really excited. We've been doing reschedules for quite some time. First, there was something that happened in the Philippines. We moved it, and then there's something that she needs to attend to. That's why I am very excited that this episode is pushing through. Our guest for today, guys, for all our listeners, our viewers, she helps businesses to utilize social media branding designed to stand out and sell out. How that happens, why, we will discover later. She is the Canva Queen. So there you have it, guys. The Canva Queen is in the Creative Talk. We will also discover why she is the royalty, the Canva Queen. And I'm very excited to know the story. Let's all welcome our very own special guest for today's episode, Gemma Cormack. Thank you and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, how are you?
Yeah, I'm really well, thank you. Yeah, nice wet afternoon in the UK here.
Oh, really? How is it there? Let's not dive into, the COVID situation, but how is, life as an entrepreneur in this situation in the UK?
Yeah, I think it's really mixed at the moment. I think for businesses like me that have been online already, we've really flourished, whereas businesses that have not been online have really struggled and had to adapt really quickly.
Right. I think that's the same. Well, I think that's the same in every parts, right? But me in the Philippines, same as you, our business as a digital entrepreneur, we were quite, I don't want to say flourishing because we were doing good, but I feel the struggle of the companies, the traditional companies that are doing the transition in that fast opportunity for them. They are in a position that they need change, but it was drastically, they need to do that shift very fast, and something with that, something in that position, it's very hard for them to do the jump, their employees and everything. So that's why experts like you are very needed in that transition. Have you ever handled clients that are in the transition mode to the online shift?
Yeah, quite a lot. So when initially the virus hit and there was talk of lockdown and people started to panic a little bit and were calling me and saying, I need to move my business online and I don't know how to do that. And I've never really concentrated on things like social media or design online. How do I shift all of this that is in my shop onto the online space? And it's been really sad to see their struggles, but at the same time, it's been really humbling to help so many people pivot their business and set it up online and see them do really well from it. My business in particular is and I would use the word flourished. It's just absolutely exploded in this. And I almost feel a little bit guilty about that. I feel, because so many people have struggled in it, and it feels, I almost feel, really guilty about that. And I am very careful in the way that I speak about it. But at the same time, it is nice to hear that there has been some positivity come out of it for some people. And I've hopefully used that positivity during, the various lockdowns to help as many small businesses as I possibly can. with my free Facebook group, for example. I have a Facebook group called DIY Social Media, and I've been coaching for free every single week since April, since soon after the virus was announced. It was like, right, if you've got a small business and you're not really entirely sure what you're doing with social media, come into DIY Social Media, and I'm going to teach you how to do it and just teach you as a collective. And I've been doing that every day.
Wow. And that part, I would be, diving in that part later. I have a lot of questions. Guys, myself, I have a lot of questions. I don't know about you, but I prepared a lot of questions because I'm just, I'm amazed, Gemma, I'm amazed that not because that you're the guest in today's episode, but I'm amazed like how you manage to do your expertise, you helping out. And I know that because the Facebook group that you mentioned, my team did the research and I'm a part of that. And, something sharing, giving value, helping out, that is something that the world needs today. Not because of the situation, but it is something that we need, helping people, sharing your knowledge, giving something worth of value, and then seeing people really, build something and benefit from it. And I love that idea, and that's why my respect for you just went that high, because I'm amazed and I respect people like that.
Thank you. Thanks. It's a lot of work, but it's future proofing my profession as well, because as a social media strategist, where I take over, I also take over people's social medias completely and make it a part of their business strategy and get results from it. That's a high ticket sale. That's very expensive, of a service to take on. And, the more flourishing small businesses we have going forward, the more likely they are to take on a strategist in the future.
Right. I agree. Okay. Having said that, there's too much to ask, but let me just put it in the right perspective. Okay. Now we see a great expert, a great entrepreneur, a coach. My question, and I always ask this in the show, what influenced you, or who influenced you to be this awesome person you are right now? What happened? I mean, it's very easy to see who we are right now, but people don't know our journey, right? People will say, Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk, they're rich but they don't know where or how they started, right? What happened? And the same thing with you. I'm excited to know your journey. And I'm sure our viewers and our listeners are excited to, discover what happened, who or what influenced you to be in this position you are right now. Tell us your story. The floor is yours.
So I originally worked for Rolls-Royce and Bentley, and I was their customer relations manager.
Wow. Let me just cut you there. Wow. That's it. The show is done, Gemma. The show is done. 2 brands. That is like, wow. Rolls-Royce and Bentley. Come on.
2 of the greatest car manufacturers in the world. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, okay.
So much fun. It was so much fun. I got to drive them and I got
to drive them.
Yeah, all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I actually really miss the cars. Like, I miss the cars a lot. But it kind of set me up. I learned a lot in that job, and I kind of, got to the point where I needed to do something that was mine. I needed to do my own thing. And whilst, working with those brands is so much fun, I needed to build my own ship, if you will. And I wanted to travel. I wanted a little bit more freedom as well. And I've visited 30 countries in the last couple of years. It's been a lot. Not been to the Philippines yet, although it is on my list. I really want to go there. But yeah, I did a lot of traveling. I was actually in Hong Kong.
Hook me up when you do plan to travel to the Philippines. We'll do a live feature. All right. Well, wait. Your travels, are those leisure and business or what?
Purely leisure for me.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, but I was working the whole time. Yeah, because I can do my job anywhere as long as I have Wi-Fi. I can do my job. So it was a case of just hitting the road for a while and see what happens. It was great fun.
Right. Was this something that, the things that you're doing right now, was this something that you really have the passion? I mean, was it always in your heart and your mind when you were, growing up and having a big perspective of what the world is? Is this something that you really love to do?
It's sort of. I've never really known. I've known about different skills. I've enjoyed learning. Learning has been something that I've enjoyed throughout my entire life. I'm not your average learner. Like sitting in a classroom doesn't really work for me. I like to get in there and do things. But yeah, and over time I built up a load of skills, and I'd always sort of had this sort of spark inside me that just wanted small businesses to win. And when I eventually had my own business, and then when, COVID obviously hit, that spark just became a massive inferno. And now I'm so passionate about supporting small businesses to succeed. And that really comes across in, I hope, in my group and on my social medias. And when I work with clients as their strategist, I care as much about your business as I care about my own. And
I have a question with that, Gemma. Clearly, I'm a fan. I love the idea. I love the philosophy. 2 questions, before I have a limited memory. So two questions. First, and you can answer this whenever you feel, just I need to send the question across. Yeah. First question is, why the distinction between, why small businesses? Why it's so distinct? And I saw this in your profile. It's written there, small businesses. Okay, so that's the first question. And then second is, why do you have this heart to help out those small businesses? That's where I am very interested. What happened? Why this care? You said that you love it. You care for them as it is your own. Why?
Yeah, I think it's because we create as small businesses, we're quickly forming this unity, this community of people, especially since COVID hit, where I'm a really firm believer in that there's no need really for competition when it comes to small businesses. There's so many of us. There is so much business out there. I'm actually working alongside a social media manager who does exactly what I do, but I'm mentoring her and I actually hire her to do work for me, and I'm teaching her along the way. And I mean, she lives down the road from me. She's a direct competitor, but she's a completely different person to me. And at the end of the day, when it comes to small businesses, people buy people, they don't buy products. And because she's a completely different person to me, she will attract completely different businesses to work with. And I think that has such a heart to it that bigger businesses don't have. And you can really connect with a person rather than with a name and a logo.
Wow. I love that. It's more than just a mindset. It's positioning your heart. and I believe that is because of your character, and it's who you are, and that's precious. We need more of you in this world.
It's all about respecting the person in front of you, regardless of what they do. And I think we as humans see all of these massive things that are going on in the world, like COVID and all of the, all of these massive, massive problems. And actually, if everybody just stopped for a minute and realized that if you respected the person in front of you and you helped the person immediately in front of you, and everybody did that, the ripple effect of that would just be absolutely huge. And that's the same in the small business industry. We support each other and we lift each other up. We're going to be building economies much, much faster in each country and building ourselves back up from this virus as well. But you have to do it together. You have to support each other.
Right. I love that. I mean, that is where authentic value is, right?
Yeah.
And I can't wait to join that group.
It's a great group.
Let me just say this. The reason why I started this podcast and, the reason why I'm in digital entrepreneurship as a branding coach is to really help out my, fellow Filipinos that they want to start a business, but they don't know how, or they are in that stage that they need help. If not, they might lose the business and they have limited financial support. And same as you, I don't charge in the, in my city, the locals. I don't charge them. I help them. And it's just, I really agree to what you said that if you help them grow, they would be the future establishments, and that would benefit the economy, right? And it's very nice for you, someone that is not in a third world country, to think that way. Very nice.
Good.
Okay. You mentioned that you've been working with, social media managers, and you mentioned social media, right? My question is first, a very basic question, because I know a lot of our viewers and a lot of our listeners, they might not understand the terms, the jargons that we may be using. All right. So my question is, before I go deeper, is that what is social media management, and then obviously what is a social media manager and what does it do?
Okay, so there's various ways that people tend to look at this, and I've recently changed the way I describe what I do, and I call myself a social media strategist now. And the reason I do that is because social media management tends to get confused with maybe a VA or a social media manager taking somebody's social medias and creating graphics and scheduling the posts and writing the captions and doing the hashtags and things like that. But there's no real strategy behind it. And the social media platform becomes a very nice shop window. But actually, there's no shop behind that window. It's just something to look at. And that can build authority in a way if somebody is going to just check out their social media because their main platform is somewhere else. But what I do is I incorporate into your business strategy. So it's about finding the ideal clients, nurturing them in a community, and driving them to your place of sale, whether that's your email list or your YouTube channel, where you're going to nurture them and you're going to speak to them and love them and help them and give them value. And I measure that, and I give my clients results every week, every month, and we run through how many more people, how many more accounts they've reached. We cross-reference it to their business. How many more leads have they had? How many more sales have they had? How many more podcast downloads have they had? And really evidence what it is that I'm doing based on results. It's not a case of let's post something and make it look pretty. It's way, way more than that.
Right. Okay. So with that said, can you share us some, basic tips for our viewers and our listeners? How can we utilize social media for our businesses?
Okay. The biggest lesson I have ever learned in business online with social media is that the common mistake that most businesses I've ever come across make is they design their marketing strategy before they design their branding strategy. And that is the wrong way around. You absolutely have to concrete your branding strategy first. And the reason is you need to know that tone of voice. You need to know what your values are, where you're going, what you're doing, before you try and communicate what it is you're trying to sell, because it needs to be consistent. And I made that mistake, and that's why I teach it now, because I made that mistake, and it took me a really long time to figure it out. And it was really a confidence thing, to be myself online. Everything was pink and candy floss. And as you can, the guys on YouTube, they can see me. I am not that person. And it's totally cool if you are, and embrace that. But that I was trying to be something I wasn't. So I wasn't resonating with anybody. So I wasn't making any sales. And as soon as I found the confidence, or I faked the confidence, bearing in mind, confidence is the only thing you should ever fake. It eventually came. It eventually came to me. And now I feel really confident to be who I am. And that works for me. It's been the best part of my business to establish that foundation.
Wow. When you said pink, I was like,
Not me.
No, definitely not you.
No.
No, but yeah, I agree with that. If you need to be authentic, right? How can you teach something with value if you yourself is not authentic? It's yes, this could be an argument. Yes, you can do that, but you will be struggling. It's not going to be natural. First, I believe, I may be wrong, you will not be happy because you're portraying something, right? You're portraying someone. You're wearing a persona of a different character, and that's not you. At one point, it's either you burn out, you get stressed, or it's just not working. Like in your case, like what you said, that you're not getting sales, right? It's not working because it's not you.
I was attracting people through what my social media looks like and my website looks like. But then as soon as they sit down and have a conversation with me on Zoom and we're doing a bit of a discovery call, they're like, hang on a minute, this doesn't match. And because I didn't match what they were expecting, all of a sudden that trust is broken. Because you're not who they thought you were. So
yes. Gemma, there's a lot of like that. There's a lot of in this generation, you would see gurus, right? Experts. And again, I'm not against that. If the problem is how to prove if they're authentic, right? There's a lot. They're expert in this, they're expert in that, they're masters of this, they're master of that. And the sad part there is people that are really seeking for help, and then they end up with those bozos. Mm-hmm. And then, same like what your story is. Okay, fascinated, the branding, the aesthetic value, because that's the first thing that they see. Wow, they connect. When they do connect, they discover it's like, wow, this is not working. Waste of time. Worse if they invested money already. Yeah. Right? Very bad. And I love that you share that so that our listeners and viewers will have a wake-up call. With that said, Gemma, how can you, this is more geared toward consumers, right? The audience. How can you, just a fast question, how can you assess if someone is authentic or not in a basic perspective? Like, okay, someone is here and he's saying something that I need. How can I attest that this is authentic?
They will be willing to give you value before you buy.
Love that. Wow.
Quick question, quick answer.
Yeah, exactly. And it's true, right? You can test, you can say that they are who they say they are if they can give the value that they promise.
Yeah. That's why I say to people, if you have any doubts, come into my group and listen to me teach every single week. And I will show up. I promise I will show up for you at 10 a.m. on a Monday every week. I promise. And I do that. And I build that trust with them.
Wow. I love that. All right. So now let's talk about royalty, the Canva queen. Yes. Okay. I'm really excited I'm losing words because, Canva is, I took up fine arts, major in advertising, and imagine back then if there's Canva already, the creativity that we can do, right? I know I've listened to, I have peers, I have colleagues that I don't know, they're like traditional artists and traditional designers. They have their own perspective, and I respect that. They say that, oh, Canva, you're using Canva, you're not a designer. Everything is pre-loaded, everything is accurate. You don't do any, those perspective. And I know you've heard those. I know you've heard those. And on the other hand, why would I not use this wonderful platform? It saves time. It helps you create stuff that you need. And as an entrepreneur, that's a good thing. So, by the way, for all our listeners and viewers, first, Gemma, can you explain what Canva is?
So Canva is a design software for people who who are either not designers. You can use Canva if you don't have a creative bone in your body. There is a way around it, and that is what I specialize in. I teach people how to use this platform, especially when they say to me, I can't design anything, I'm not a designer, I'm not artistic, I'm not creative. And I challenge them and say, well, everybody's creative. Everybody has creativity. You just need to unlock it. Because actually, in order to get that creativity inside you onto something digital, you just need to know how. And I know how, so I'll tell you how. And Canva is the perfect software to do that. You need years and years and years to learn how to use, other software such as Adobe and things like that. And yes, graphic designers are incredible. And there are incredible things that they do that you couldn't even imagine doing on Canva. But a small business owner who is not financially rich, who is time rich, who wants to do it themselves, but doesn't have time to go to university and do a 4-year degree.
Right.
It is a perfect compromise for them to still build their businesses up, and eventually they can hire out to a graphic designer when they're more financially rich.
Exactly. And you know what? That is one of the greatest gifts of this generation and what it is to come. There are a lot of, innovative platforms, softwares that are coming, and you can use it for free. It can help your business. It can help your journey, maybe in creativity, your passion, or something you use to create profit. And one of those is Canva, right? And you should embrace that because it helps you, like what you said. If you want to start something and you don't have the opportunity of using those, let's say, really professional platforms out there, obviously they charge, right? Subscription. And Canva, is Canva charging right now?
Yeah, there is a pro version. There's a free version as well. I recommend if you use it a lot, I highly recommend the pro version. I mean, it's for what you get for the price is just,
and it's cheap, right? Yeah, it's cheap.
Yeah.
Because I think before, when you're using Canva for free, there are like elements that you can use, but you can't download it unless you pay for it, right? Or if you have a pro version or something.
There's nothing more frustrating than designing something and being so happy with it, and then realizing that you've used something that isn't free, and you're like, I want that one.
You know why I can say that? Because that happened to me. I finalize it, and then why can I export it? What happened? Oh, he's charging me for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I'm blown away how a platform such as Canva is revolutionizing design, and it's a very recommendable tool for entrepreneurs, for them to, small businesses to continue their operation. As an expert like you, Gemma, what makes Canva unique?
Oh, goodness me. Because it does so many things that no other platform will do for the price and the ease of it. It's so easy to use. Canva is giving entrepreneurs and small businesses opportunities that they didn't have before. And that is to create beautiful graphics and beautiful animations that they have done themselves and educated themselves on how to do it, and are showcasing their business in a way that was not an option before. And at the end of the day, with social media now and our attention spans getting smaller and smaller and smaller, you literally have a split second to grab somebody's attention. And it needs to be beautiful. Beauty is the only way that you can get someone's attention that quickly. And Canva will absolutely allow you to do that.
Wow. And you know what? There is, I'm thinking, and it's possible to happen, that maybe 1 year, 2 year, 3 years time, Canva will offer video editing, and it's possible.
Yeah. I definitely think that's possible. I love cutting videos and putting my branding around them at the moment, and adding music and adding sounds and stuff like that. I do that in Canva, but yeah, the actually editing of the video, I definitely think that'll come in the future.
Yeah, those features those features that they offer only in paid subscription, there will be a time that Canva will offer that. It's not like a full pro version, but it will be enough for you to create ads, teasers, and content, video content for YouTube channels or podcasts, audio podcasts. I mean, Canva is the perfect. It's a perfect platform to offer that.
Yeah, absolutely it is. I create Instagram reels, Instagram stories. I'm creating video content in there now. It's at a much lower level, but it's working, and they're definitely bringing everything up. That they're constantly adding new features, and I get far too excited. As soon as there's a new feature, I'm straight into my group telling everyone, and I'm like, start using this while you can before anybody else, and get on your platforms. And people are crazy. Like, how are you doing that?
I saw an ad of Canva, and I am not sure if it's already there. You can enlighten us. It's sort of being like a content scheduler,
already there.
Yeah, it's already there, right?
It doesn't schedule yet, but it is there. You can certainly plan all of your content out, which is really useful, because if you don't schedule your content, if you do like to do it, in your own time, you can plan out your graphics or your videos for the entire month and store it there in a calendar format. It's excellent. Excellent. My favorite part of Canva actually is the brand kit, which is only available on the pro version, but you can add in all of your colors and your fonts, and you can upload fonts. And when you are designing something in the design suite section, all of your brand necessities are there at the click of a button. You don't need to be copying and pasting hex codes or anything like that. You can just click on it. And I mean, for me, that saves so much time. That's worth the subscription itself.
Wow. I'm going to get a pro version now of Canva.
Highly recommend. You can do that through my Instagram at Gemma_Cormack.
Very smoothly done. Very smoothly done. It's funny. We're promoting Canva, and Canva, we're open for any ads.
Yeah. No, I honestly, sometimes I think to myself, I should work for Canva.
No, it's actually an amazing tool. I am also a fan of Canva, and I've experienced the smoothness, the hassle-free. If you want to done something that you really value time, it is the perfect platform for you to use. It's online, you can work anywhere. It's very nice. It's very nice. The quality is also good. There's a lot of formats that is enough for you to complete your task, to complete your project that would be beneficial for your company, for your business. Those PDFs, Absolutely. Presentations and everything. Man, Canva, instead of if you're an old school, if you're working on PowerPoint or, Prezi or something like that, you can do those stuff in Canva in, way more creative way, right?
Yeah. To put something in perspective, I've recently co-designed a single cover in the UK. a Christmas single for a duet that's happening. It's being released in I think it's tomorrow actually.
Wow.
And I did that in Canva. And it's been released by Universal Records. It's a big deal. And the majority of it was designed in Canva.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how good it is.
There you have it, guys. There you have it. The best explanation why you need to hop in, use Canva right now. From the Canva queen herself. Man.
I've even got a free video, a free workshop in DIY social media that will show you how to use it from scratch. And that is totally free for any small business entrepreneur. That is yours to have. Go and find it.
Wow. I'm just, this is what happens when I'm really a fan of my guest. First, I just can't control myself. And then second, you combine it with such a powerful content, like Canva. We're talking about Canva. We're not happy. We're not, reviewing the platform. We're not tech reviews or something. We're happy because it's a useful tool for entrepreneurs out there. And to put it in the right perspective, we're talking about small, business people. They're starting their own company. They're starting their own business. And tools like this, like Canva, can really make a difference, right?
I've watched it transform businesses, absolutely transform them. Social media platforms going from completely dull and unrecognizable to just having a little bit of know-how of how to use the platform, a little bit of consistency with their visual branding, then in the voice with the captions, and it just absolutely transforms businesses because people often talk about, before you make a sale, you need to have touched, a client or a potential customer 7 times. But if on those 7 occasions, they don't realize it was you every time because you're not recognizable, you can touch them as many times as you want. You'll never, ever build up that know, like, and trust. It has to be the same. And Canva just makes that so easy to do.
Love that. And I may be wrong, but I feel, I always believe this, Gemma, that intent comes before content. And again, I'm not sure, this is an assumption, but maybe the people behind Canva, their intention is really to help people, because to craft something, a platform like this geared towards, it's a client-centric thing. They're geared towards giving people the professional feel, but in a more smoother, easy to eat, easy to consume way. And it's very affordable, and you can transform your business. And that's just an awesome platform that we have. And take note, guys, we're not getting paid to talk about.
No, not at all. Not
at all. Don't, for all our listeners and viewers, don't think that we're promoting Canva. No, my guest is Gemma, and we're talking about, life, business. It just so happened that we are both amazed on how this platform named Canva is revolutionizing design in this generation. Imagine 5 years from now, what can people do using Canva, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So, Gemma, before we go to that weird and special part of the show,
I'm intrigued.
Basic tips, Gemma, basic tips that you can share, knowledge bomb before we go to the next part, something that you can share. Small, let's talk about small businesses out there. What are the basic tips that you can impart to them? Okay.
So I have a framework that I use for picking your brand colors. So if you can't get a designer in, stick to this framework. Pick a neutral planet, which will be your background, and pick the color that most suits you, that you resonate with the most. And that'll be your bold planet. And you'll often use that color on your background. Then all you need is a dark color for your bodies of text, an accent color to pull something out. That you might use that on a particular word you want to pull out. And you'll also have a contrast color. That's only 5. You only need 5 colors. Pick 2 fonts, stick with them throughout all of your designs, throughout all of your business, your website, everything. And people in your circle will start to recognize you like people recognize Coca-Cola, Burberry, etc. It's the same format. It will absolutely work for you as an entrepreneur.
Wow. Any tips using for them to, like, people that are using Canva now and people that are intrigued, our listeners and our viewers, and what can you tell them about Canva?
Start using the templates, but don't get too reliant on them. Have a look at them and use them for inspiration. But I'm telling you now, people will start to recognize that you've used a template. So do your best to educate yourself. Come over to my group and educate yourself and learn how to use the platform so that you can make unique graphics. I promise you, you can do it. I have taught the most unnatural designers in the world how to use Canva. It is possible. And now they're standing out as unique brands and being recognized and making more money.
Ooh, I love that. Thank you so much, Gemma. Thank you so much for sharing awesome knowledge bombs, tips after tips after tips, learning after learning. Thank you so much. I personally learn a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, God, thank you.
All right. So we are in this part of our episode that we will play a game. This is a tradition in the Creative Talk. All right. The goal is to show our viewers, our listeners, the people out there that, yes, we are experts in our field. We are hard workers, even though we're not. but yeah, she just, no, I am hard worker. I don't know about you.
Yeah, all the time.
No, but the goal of this show is to show them that we are still human beings. We sometimes, don't know what to say. We laugh. We are acting silly, and we're human beings, right? We just have, we smile and we have a good time. So this is where this part is all about. All right. So I will be asking you random questions that my team prepared, and you are not allowed to spend so much time thinking what the answers would be. So first thing that comes into your mind, shoot. All right.
Okay.
Ready? Drink your, is that coffee or tea?
It's coffee. I'm ready.
All right. Okay. So that was like question number 1, coffee or tea. So, all right. Favorite color?
Purple.
Passenger or driver?
Driver.
Hot or cold?
Cold.
Mountains or the beaches?
Ooh, the beaches.
Right. Okay. If you're an animal, what animal would you be and why?
I'd be an owl because it is the animal of goddess Athena, and I relate to her the most.
Right. Are you a Greek mythology fan?
Yeah, I like reading Greek mythology and epics and plays and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna choose this question because you said that. Movies or books? Books. Because if you answered that, I'm gonna go to the next. What are your top 3 favorite books of all time? Top 3.
Oh, okay. The top one is called A Little Life by a woman called Hanya. It's so harrowing. There's absolutely no resolve at the end. It's awful. It's a wonderful, wonderful tragedy.
Right. Okay. Wonderful tragedy. Nice.
Yeah. My second favorite, actually, I haven't finished reading it, and it's called The Obstacle is the Way. And that's actually a nonfiction book that's all about using adversity as your advantage. And it is fantastic. It's life-changing. Mm-hmm. And my third favorite book is The Odyssey, which is a Greek epic.
Classic. Yeah, I love that. Right. Next is soap or toothbrush?
Toothbrush.
All right. Okay. Your dream superpower of all time and why?
It's got to be flight.
Okay.
I don't want to be invisible. I don't want to hear what people are thinking. It's none of my business. I don't want to get in people's businesses. I just want to go for a nice little fly.
All right. Okay. What is the weirdest food you ever tried?
I've not been that adventurous, really. My mum once fed me a paella with rabbit in it and told me that it was chicken. And then when she told me it was rabbit, I was really, really ill, like everywhere.
But rabbit tastes like, they taste like chicken.
Tastes like rabbit.
Yeah,
it's not. I don't like.
Are you a vegan? Or are you vegan?
No.
All right, but yeah, they're cute and they don't need to be barbecued, right?
They just don't taste good.
Right, next. What is something that is always in your bag when you were a kid?
Oh. Do you have Polly Pockets there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I had multiple Polly Pockets.
Wow.
And plastic little rings.
Oh, yeah.
Because my granddad used to take me to an arcade because I'm from a place in Blackpool, which has like a lot of like rides and things like that.
Right.
And you would put like just a penny in this machine and push the button and a plastic ring would come out. And he always used to get me one and they were always in my pocket.
Wow. Yeah. Polly Pocket was really famous back then, right?
Yeah, it was huge.
There's also there's a version of Polly Pocket for boys, but different brand.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's the same thing. When you open some of them like military bases or something, but there's no character like Polly Pocket. That character. Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good. I remember those days with my cousin who plays Polly Pocket. Yeah, nice. All right, last question. This is a traditional question in the Creative Talk. Question is, if you have the power to bring back someone back from the dead, who would it be and why?
That's very sentimental to me, actually. It would be my grandfather, because he was just the most amazing man. Like he really raised me and supported me and gave me the bravery and the courage to be whatever and whoever I wanted to be, no matter who came along. I was not judged. I could make mistakes as long as I gave it my all. And I really hold him close to my heart for that.
Nice. And I'm sure, he is very proud of you, your accomplishments, and he knows that you are in a position to change people's lives, to help them and, just do good.
That's the
All right. Yes. So thank you, Gemma, for being such a good sport, answering those silly questions. And now we know that it's not good to eat rabbit, even though no. All right, Gemma. So feel free to promote if you have any releases, groups, social media accounts, online events, anything. The floor is yours. Feel free to promote.
The best place to come and find me is in my Facebook group. So just search for DIY social media for small businesses, and you will find me in there all day, every day. And if you're on Instagram, it's Gemma_Cormack.
All right, thank you.
Search for the Canva Queen.
It's written there, the Canva Queen.
Search for the Canva Queen.
All right, guys, if you need help, go and connect with Gemma. I'm sure with her expertise and a kind heart, very humble, a leader, she will help you in your journey. All right, so please connect with her. Awesome person, very funny, very intelligent. Guys, continue to support the Creative Talk. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and our YouTube channel. We are everywhere. Again, thank you, Gemma. Thank you so much for being a blessing, sharing your knowledge, your opinions, your perspective. Thank you for giving us time here in the Creative Talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So that's our episode for today, guys. We hope you learned something, inspired, motivated. Always remember, smile, be happy, have a positive outlook in life. God bless. Stay safe.
Thank you for being with us here on the Creative Talk Podcast. I'm your host, John Santos. Don't forget to listen and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. See you again always,